Welcome to the playoff preview. We are here, all four of the gang of members. Let's jump into the playoff review. It's set. There was a little drama towards the end of the bracket, as we know. Conference championship. The video should be up. We don't know what's happening there. We are sorry. Our picks, we don't know where they're at. YouTube is being difficult with us. We don't know where it's at. So it should be up at any time. If not, I don't even know how we are going to review the picks, honestly, because I don't remember what I picked. G-Russ has the video, so unless G-Russ wants to tell me who picked what, if we do that, I don't know. But we'll get to that here in a minute. We're also supposed to have a playoff bracket up here so that we all can see it. We do not. James also just woke up, so he's a little sleepy boy. But anyway, initial thoughts of the playoff bracket. Let's go first.
I think
I'll
James
go
should
first.
go.
Okay,
This
James.
article.
They got it right. Point blank. I think every pick was a lock besides the final one being the 11th seed, SMU, because Clemson locked conference championship. You got your top four all conference champions, and then I don't really know who else is going to drop out. They rewarded every team that played in a conference championship that was already in the top 12 and lost, still made the playoffs. That being Penn State, Texas, SMU, and that's it. So they're not hurting teams that played in their conference championship, despite what people like Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin will tell you. Lane went on his rant that he was talking to SEC coaches this past year and how they don't want to play because they're scared they won't make the playoff. Well, all of them made it, surprisingly. And so I think they're giving a deserving team a chance. Might not be the best team, but they're by far the most deserving team. And if that's what you're looking for, you got it. If you're looking for the 12 best, sure, Bama, I'm sure a team like A&M or even Ole Miss or South Carolina could go in there and beat some of the teams, but they're not the most deserving. And I think the committee got it right, going with the most deserving. And letting Alabama in also just opens the loophole or the whatever for Ole Miss and South Carolina. Then you got debates of, well, did Bama deserve it over a team like Carolina that's been red hot or a team like Ole Miss that beat Georgia? I don't really know. If you put SMU in, you kind of shut them all up. And, they can whine and complain they didn't make it. But, hey, at the end of the day, they weren't the most deserving. SMU was. And we get to see some pretty cool uniforms in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I think the 12 teams that got in were the 12 teams that should have gotten in. However, Oregon got the longest shaft shoved up their butt you will ever see. They got absolutely shafted with their draw of who they play. I don't exactly know how you can fix that. Just looking at the bracket right now, having them play the 8 and 9 is tough. I know they get a bye, but still, them having to play Tennessee, who I think is either the best or the second best team in that of the 8 that are not getting a bye, and then having to also play either or Tennessee or Ohio State, who is going to give them a good game just because it's Ohio State. I don't know how you fix that, but the 1 seed I feel like should have the easiest path because they've earned it. And I don't think Oregon got that. So, Penn State has a free road to the semifinals.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Chube said. I do disagree a little bit with James about the most deserving teams. I'm more of a believer in the 12 best teams because otherwise you get national championship games like TCU and Georgia a couple of years ago. So, and I think a big takeaway to look at is also that Penn State lost their conference championship and they might possibly have the easiest road. They play, I believe, who the players on
SMU.
SMU
and then Boise.
Yeah, and then if they win both those games, they get a Georgia team without their starting quarterback. So it may have been just a one-time luck of the draw thing, but I do think the committee, with the rules that were put in place, they did an okay job at these picks, even though there did seem to be a little bit of Big Ten bias.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get what Giros is talking about 12 best teams. I get Giros is a Bama guy through and through. We know that. Listen, sorry, Giros.
We're in
Just
Tennessee shirt.
just some friendly banter. Listen, I think that SMU deserved the spot over Bama. You can't, like we said on the podcast last night, you can't lose to Vandy. You can't lose to Oklahoma. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't drop those games with the roster that you have. You can't drop them, and they did. Yeah, you beat Georgia. Who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, who really cares? I don't. I didn't care. But SMU's in. I do agree with you. Penn State really just has the easy road. Now, will that happen? I think that they'll beat SMU, honestly. But James Franklin doesn't win big games. So keep that in mind. Oregon also, hate to see it for them. They got to play the winner of the 8 and 9 seed. I think that what they should do is they should do it like the NFL playoffs where the winner of the 8 and 9 game plays, I would think, the 4th seed?
Yeah.
4th seed. And then I guess it really just depends on who you got or who wins the first round games.
It's tough because if you project the favorite to win, then you would, if you did that where the 8 played the 4, then you would have potentially the 1 going against the 5, which would be the next highest seed.
No,
the 1 plays the lowest winner. So in this case, possibly the 12. 4 plays the highest, second lowest, third lowest.
So if the 5 seed won, they would play the 4 seed.
The 4.
And then after that, you go back to the structured bracket where winner of the 1 v whoever plays the winner of 4 v whoever, and then
like if SMU beat Penn State, they would play Oregon.
They would play Oregon.
More than likely, unless Clemson were to win.
That's what I was trying to get to. I just didn't know how to put it into.
Yeah, you didn't know how to articulate it there, but
no, good job, James. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that they're just going to have to go to that system because it's honestly not fair to Oregon. They deserve to have really the easiest shot at the title. But it's also first year of this. We don't know how teams are going to prepare. And football is a bit different than a lot of people are saying, oh, this is going to be like March Madness. You can pick upsets. That's completely different. But as you start getting those later weeks, battle of attrition, it's a thing. Momentum's also a thing. So interested to see where this kind of goes. A lot of people saying they should expand to 16 teams. I don't agree with that. I like 12 right now. Let's see how it works. A lot of Bama fans actually saying 16 teams, so it makes a lot of sense.
What are the odds?
Surprise.
But our picks will be out. We're going to pick the first round games next week. We'll do the semifinals, and then we'll do quarterfinals and champion. Maybe. Sure. We'll make that as the last prediction. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. We'll figure it out as we go, kind of. And then, James.
We got to pick some bowl games, though.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking we throw some random bowl games in there. So
gotta toss in some bowl games.
There's some big ones. Real Quest Bowl, Michigan, Alabama, Colorado, BYU, another big bowl.
That one's a big one.
That's gonna be a good one. I wish Alabama. An Alabama. Good Lord. Anyway, I mean, you could. I don't know what I was gonna say. I had a good matchup for Alabama. Maybe an Ole Miss. Alabama, Ole Miss.
They wouldn't do an SEC matchup.
I know, but it'd be really sick.
They did a Big 12 matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one watches the Big 12 anyway. So
you could do.
And Ole Miss hasn't played Bama this year.
Colorado and Miami. That would be electric.
Miami's in the Cheez-It Bowl. No, they're in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, they're in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Miami's playing like Illinois though. That's not gonna be fun.
No, they're playing.
They're not playing Illinois. Oh Lord, sorry.
Let's see here. No, I don't want the city of Miami. Miami football. They play Iowa State. Iowa State. So it'll be interesting. There's some good bowl games, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the New Year's Six bowls are gone." No, you elevate other bowl games, which I think is a good thing for the other bowl games. It's now got some worth to them. Sure, it's not the playoff, but it's exciting. There you go.
Ohio versus Jacksonville State might be a sneaky good game.
Jacksonville State no longer has a head coach, though.
That's right.
That's trouble.
Rich Rodriguez, West Virginia.
That's right.
Big move by West Virginia. Dan Mullen.
Good hire, though. Good hire.
UNLV. I like Dan Mullen to UNLV.
I really like that. I'm not going to lie. Zach Selman at Mississippi State should have interviewed him last year. Said we got Jeff Lebby. No clue what he's cooking up in there. He's cooking something.
Yeah, you're losing your quarterback, buddy.
Jackson Arnold, though.
Has he committed yet?
He's 100% due. But also Van Buren was greedy little feller. Asking for $1.5 million for a 2-10 season where he only won one of those games? Absurd.
He didn't have a defense.
He didn't. He was good, but he was no DJ Lagway.
You're comparing an average SEC quarterback to a potential top 5 SEC quarterback.
Exactly. And he got greedy, and now he's gone. And I'm not upset.
My favorite, I'm a little behind here. My favorite matchup in these bowl games is going to be, I'm way behind. Going to be Georgia Tech and Vandy.
Ooh.
Haynes
Where
King
are they
versus.
playing in?
I don't remember. Let me. Haynes King.
Hold on. Wait. Let's see if we can guess the name of the bowl. Just what are you thinking here?
I've not paid much attention to any bowl games. That was the.
It's not Liberty.
I will go with
Is it the
Outback.
Texas one
Is it
that's in
Outback?
Houston at Energy?
Outback or Gator.
Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah, it's not
No,
Outback
what
or
the
Gator because
heck?
Ole Miss is Gator and Outback is Sour Lie Quest.
That's going to be a good game though.
Birmingham Bowl. I like that stadium. They redid it a couple of years ago. I got to go to a UFL game. Got to see Shea Patterson there. That was awesome.
Ole Miss legend.
Not quite Michigan legend.
He was at Ole Miss though.
Yeah.
He was. And then he gave him the dipped out at John. And I think they got Jordan Tamu shortly after.
We covered it on the podcast yesterday, but Bill Belichick, UNC head coach now.
It'll be really interesting.
He said he's there for the long run. So I'm
I
here
think
for
it's
it.
going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not.
Honestly, I don't think it will be just because of how NIL is going. I think with the direction NIL is going, it's going to be more fit towards Bill Belichick, like what he wants to do.
He's in a recruiting hotbed in North Carolina, but all those dudes that are committed to other places said, "Hey, we're not going to pick up the phone for him." Faison Brandon, I think he's committed to UT. Number 1 recruit in 2026 said, "I'm not even going to pick up the phone." So
I think that's wild.
It's a big name. Yeah, but would you? Okay, little tangent here. Would you rather go play for Bill Belichick's old style offense, old style kind of ran team, or go to Tennessee, to a South Carolina, to a Clemson, where it's a little bit more modern? I mean, we haven't seen Belichick coach in 2-3 years now.
Well, he's going to give the whole offense to an offense coordinator. He doesn't know anything about offense for the most part, so he's more likely to give it up to big offense.
I think he just took the job so that his son could be the head coach once he leaves.
Might be true, but hey, I like how he's all in on UNC. I like that he had the story about his dad coaching there and how when he was a baby, his first words were beat Duke. I like he's going all in. And hey, do I want to play for one of the best NFL coaches of all time? I just want to play where I win. And he has connections to the NFL. He can talk to some of those GMs around the league like, hey, my guy right here, great ball player, great guy. You should really look at him, coming NFL
None of those
time.
GMs wanted to hire him.
Well, to be fair,
And
he also wants to be the GM. So,
That's
and a
true.
lot of those people viewed that as a big FU to the NFL once he left.
Well,
People are also saying that the Bears were looking at getting him.
the
People
Bears are a
looking at
crapshoot
that.
that I don't want
Bad
to
to
get
worse.
into.
Not go to Chicago.
Caleb Williams and a Bill Belichick type team. Think about that.
Saw him
Yeah.
painting his nails. The ones who Bill Belichick would do.
Okay.
It's
Stuff that
probably
I was-
right
things
there.
I
I was
can't
gonna
say
go
on this
there.
podcast.
Yeah, I was.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I put my head down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're
Also,
thinking the same stuff.
Clemson is taking transfers. Did you see that?
Really?
How many?
They're hosting a Purdue edge player. Forgot his name. Is Dabo gone now? Tyler from Spartanburg win.
Hey, you gotta respect Dabo for
I don't
making the
respect Dabo
playoff
because he
without
doesn't do his
transfers.
call-in show anymore. No call-ins on his show anymore.
But John
Do you
Tyler
Gruden
care
does
about
now.
Clemson's call-in show?
Because Tyler from Spartanburg dunked on him one time and he got butt hurt. I'm not a big Hickory Dickory Doc, the master off the clock coach when he got that drip and now he's on TikTok. I'm not rocking with that anymore. I think he's a goofball. That's just my opinion.
But how many coaches in college football aren't goofballs?
Would you rather go to Shane Beamer or Dabo?
Oh my gosh.
Beamer ball.
Dabo, he's won.
I go Dabo and RB.
Beamer's
Yeah,
building.
never
up.
played
Dabo's
for
in the
Shane Beamer.
I can't
playoffs
stand Shane
again
Beamer.
without taking a single transfer.
I shook Shane
That's-
Beamer's
that's-
hand.
I mean, you gotta respect the
Congrats.
philosophy, Hunter. You make the playoff without taking a transfer.
Because they beat SMU in the ACC
You just said
championship.
you just said they should be in over Bama.
I agree with that because they made their
But you just
conference
said
championship
you act
game
like
while
SMU
Bama
was
was at
garbage.
home on the couch.
Can I have
I think
a
that they
legitimate
deserve to
question?
get it.
Why do you think it should be the deserving over at best? Like, just genuinely, I don't know.
Did Bama make the conference championship?
No.
Okay. Did SMU lose to a very low tier opponent? No, their only loss was to BYU. It was
BYU?
ranked in the
Ranked team?
top 10 for most of the year until the last couple weeks. That's not a very good third point that just came to my mind, but I'm not going to use it.
Who has
Bama
better
lost.
uniforms? SMU. Toss them in the playoffs up
What
to
I meant-
viewership.
I thought Haynes King should have got in. Give him Georgia Tech after I saw that game
Yeah,
against
I mean,
Georgia.
Georgia Tech looks like one of the best 12
I
teams
mean-
after the Georgia game.
I know.
Kent State. I mean, we got to think about them too.
We got to throw them in that.
Who would
conference.
win, Alabama or SMU?
Alabama.
Alabama's
would-
That's
probably
my
beating
reasoning.
10 of the 12 of these
Alabama
teams.
would wipe the floor with us.
Here's the problem.
But-
Alabama. No.
If Tennessee was in Alabama's situation, you'd be wanting to be in too.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
I think
I want my
You're
team
just-
to be
Hunter's
in right
just biased
now,
against
and we're
teams he
2 and
doesn't like.
10.
from a talent standpoint, Alabama is a top 5 team in the country. Alabama is also a top 5 most inconsistent team in the country. On any given Saturday, they can beat Oregon by 30. They can beat Georgia by 30.
How much do you think SMU loses to Penn State by?
30.
I
Problem
think
is,
Exactly.
Either
Alabama-
one's going to lose to Boise State come the next week, so it doesn't matter.
all right, Ashton Genty, pull them up.
Yes.
Boise State's going to get
Boat race.
destroyed.
Anyway,
Sorry, pal.
Alabama is so inconsistent. They give you Oklahoma,
I'd
Alabama. Then the
I'd
next
say
week they
they're-
give you
A bad Alabama, though, still beats SMU.
absolutely
No. A
Absolutely.
bad
I think so.
Alabama loses
Yeah.
a bad
to
Alabama
Oklahoma by how
lost
many?
to
SMU hasn't played the talent Alabama has at all.
I
this
think
year.
Yeah,
Penn
BYU
State.
was
I think Penn
plenty
State
good.
and SMU is a close game. I think it is.
I think SMU's
I'll
quarterback is
agree with
legit.
that. I'll agree with that.
SMU's
SMU's
quarterback
quarterback's
is-
hard to contain. It's hard to contain a guy like that.
Part of
It is.
Contain Miller.
You know why? Because he's fast.
Bingo. Like Daniels
He is
on
fast.
the Kansas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jalen.
Daniels.
Jalen,
He's coming back another year. Signed a
Mhm.
new deal.
which is out. Brother, he signed a contract to come back a year. This is
Over
not the
college
NFL.
football.
I know.
That's
it's
what
crazy.
half of South Carolina's roster just did. It's probably
I
what half
know.
Tennessee and Ohio State's rosters are doing.
I know.
Like,
It's ridiculous.
would you rather get paid or would you not? I mean, you get paid for
Oh, no,
your
100%.
NILs, don't you?
Yes.
How much would that entail? $5?
No, it's actually. If you want to buy my merchandise,
James, that's more than you do. Don't.
Yeah,
don't
James.
just-
my $5 of NIL is more than your $0 of NIL. Oh, here we go. Wow. I'm cooked.
Yeah, I got NIL, pal.
Is that legal in Mississippi?
160.
Yeah, is that legal?
Go ahead and show me
can't
them
read that.
numbers. That's 180, James.
Yeah, we're
think
gonna
that's
have to cut
60.
this. We're gonna have to cut this part out.
No, we're good. Anyway, moving on.
So I'm
yeah.
covering up several numbers and whatever.
You might have missed a couple, but it's all right.
Anyway, no, Alabama should not be in this playoff. Should South Carolina get in?
No.
No,
Ole Miss.
No.
no,
Does Ole Miss beat Alabama?
no.
What Bama? What Ole Miss am I seeing?
Exactly. Does South Carolina beat Alabama?
Almost did.
What South Carolina am I seeing? They almost did.
Exactly. That's my point. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting out of these teams. You can't be so confident that Alabama beats any of these teams because Alabama is a juggernaut.
But you're confident SMU's getting boat raced by Penn State.
No.
You just said they were losing by 30.
I was just joking. I was on a 30 rant. I said 30 like 4 times.
Who's joshing? Don't worry about it.
I was just pranking. No, I think SMU's legit. Anyway, my point was Alabama is the most inconsistent team you may ever see. Jalen Milroe looks like prime Josh Allen one week, then 2023 Teddy Bridgewater the next. That's a problem. I love Teddy.
What also kills Penn State is that they drew the early game. They drew the early playoff game. They did not get the night game.
Their biggest worry is playing the early game, Hunter. I think they'll be fine.
Their biggest worry is
look at what they've done in the early game.
Quarterback.
Bingo. Michigan last year with a first-time head coach, Sharon Moore, lost. Sucked that game.
He also beat Ohio State.
Must-win game to save our season. Out the door. Go Blue. Penn State's awful.
What, Grant?
Nothing.
Okay. Let's talk about some of these games. Ohio State, Tennessee, what do we got?
I am very proud of whatever Tennessee fan managed to leak the Ohio State code. I think that is hilarious. That is so funny.
They're getting
And I also think Ohio State is the softest team in the country wanting to ban flag.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And their AD saying that the fans need to show up. That way Tennessee doesn't invade the shoe. Screw that AD. We're playing the flag in the. If we better plant the flag in the O when we win.
It's illegal.
If we plant the flag in the O,
not yet. It's not illegal yet.
It will be illegal.
Screw Ohio State on Twitter. Screw that guy calling out our fan base for being soft and asking where we were. They showed up in droves. Let me say he is now. He's blocked a lot of people now. If you look on his Twitter, screw that guy. I got a lot of people on the Ohio State target list that as soon as they lose, it's going to be bad.
Can you name them?
May I suggest an alt Twitter account?
Yeah, I honestly thought about an alt Twitter account, but
let's start tweeting stuff on this Flat Sports account. Let's just get wild. Let's get reckless.
Yeah, we could.
That's some exposure. Just go after Ryan Day.
Oh no, the Ohio fans have been going after Ryan.
Oh, Day. I know. If Ryan Day loses this game,
he's fired.
See you, buddy.
Hold up. What shirt do you have on right now?
SEC football runs.
That same exact shirt. Did you get it during SEC game day?
I did when I worked it.
Same exact shirt. Some dude threw it to me.
Yep. That's fine.
And listen, for people saying that it's going to be cold in the horseshoe, it snowed yesterday in Knoxville. They practiced in the snow. I do not fear the horseshoe one bit. I do not fear it. I've played it. South Carolina is a tougher place to play than the horseshoe. I'll say it right now. I'll say it right now.
There's 14. Go ahead, sir.
No.
I was going to say 14, but there's not 14. There's like 9 or 10 SEC schools I would put ahead of the shoe.
I want to list them. List them
right now. Okay, well, I'm not going to count Tennessee. I'm going to go Alabama.
No, count Tennessee.
Okay, then Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, LSU, Florida.
When they're good.
They're good.
Even this year.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Texas.
Texas. I think Oklahoma's harder.
Texas.
Mizzou is not easy.
Arkansas
is tough.
You said
Arkansas is tough. Yeah.
A&M.
You missed A&M. That's 11.
I don't agree with half of those.
I don't fear the Big Ten. I don't fear the Big Ten. People saying, "Oh, the SEC fears the Big Ten." Indiana's going to get destroyed by Notre Dame. We know that. Indiana does not stand a chance. Penn State might not even survive SMU. Let's be honest. Who else? Oregon. Oregon's the only Big Ten team I respect, and realistically, they're not a Big Ten team. They're a Pac-12 team that's in the Big Ten. So they'll never be a Big Ten team in my eyes. They're just in the Big Ten, and they've dominated the Big Ten. Look at their numbers against them. The only team they struggled against was Wisconsin.
I think
I don't fear the
Arizona
Big
State
Ten.
got a favorable draw.
They did.
I think they did.
Texas
You shut down
struggles with
Cam
the run.
Scatterbo, what happens?
Oh, they're absolutely cooked.
They're cooked, but who's going to shut them down?
Texas run defense is not that good.
He's like White Ashton Jincy that already has CTE.
I think Clemson gives Texas a run for
Clemson's
their
hot.
money.
Clemson's hot right now. I would love to
Cade
see them.
Klubnik playing really good.
You know what I would also love to see?
I would love to see Texas lose.
I honestly wish Alabama got in just because we could have 4 teams from the SEC in the Final Four. That would have made my year. Just to
Oh, but that would have killed the Big Ten.
I don't care.
That would've
Just to
jumped
You,
off
shut
the
I
up.
think
bridge.
wanted that, Hunter.
Yeah, but then Bama fans would get a big head, and I'm not
No,
here
I
for
know.
that.
Just to shut up all the SEC.
already have one.
haters.
Well, that somehow it would grow more than it already is.
If there's 3 SEC, imagine if it's 3 SEC teams and freaking SMU. What the? That would be absolutely
That's
electric.
impossible. No.
Can SMU join the conference at that rate?
Yeah, I mean, throw them in. Tulane was in there at one point.
Yeah. Swanee
Tulane was a founding member.
Yeah.
Also a founding member.
Tulane
Founding
beat
members can
Georgia
join
Tech.
back at any time.
I believe so. But Sewanee's also D3 and one of the smallest colleges in Tennessee. So
Let's throw
Beautiful
Georgia
part of the
Tech.
country, though.
Let's throw
Beautiful
Georgia
part of the
Tech
country.
back in there.
They
Haynes
didn't
King.
have athletics.
yes, they do. D3 athletics.
Never.
We
seen
had a
anybody get
girl
off of
from
there.
JA go there for tennis last year.
Wow.
Maryville College plays them in football, I'm pretty sure. There
Did
you
you
go.
get offer there?
For
Or not?
college, I know that school.
I did not get an offer from there, although I'm pretty sure if I wanted one, I could just say so.
I'm coming to play here. You cannot tell me
I'm going
otherwise.
to be here. You will put me on this roster.
You will let me
Uh,
play. Moving on. Onward.
Anyway, so yeah, I think Clemson has a shot at Texas. The only team that I have zero confidence in is Indiana. You know what? Let's rank the 12 teams in there off a vote of confidence. Who we think could win?
One's Oregon.
Oregon has
Okay.
to be number one.
All right. No, just give your individual list. Giros.
Okay, I don't. One Oregon.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, you have to take into account also where they are in the bracket. I'd say. You could argue that the winner of the Oregon, whoever in Tennessee or Ohio State wins the whole thing.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, so Oregon's obviously clear number one. I don't know if I'd put it to just because I don't know if Beck's healthy. If Beck is not healthy, Penn State has a clear path to the playoff, I think. So I wouldn't put him at 2, but I put him pretty high up there. I don't really have a clear order. If Beck is healthy though, I definitely put Georgia at 2. 3, I would go Texas probably, just because if they do get hot, I feel like they're probably the best team in the country. 4, I go Ohio State probably, just because they're just on paper they're the most talented team in the country. 5, I would go Tennessee. Let me know if I'm forgetting somebody. I'm doing this off the top of my head.
I believe in you.
Okay. 6, I would probably go Penn State. 7, I would go with who else left?
Notre Dame, Indiana,
Boise
SMU,
State, Arizona State. SMU.
I would put
Clemson.
okay. I'd put probably Notre Dame, and then Clemson, and then who are the other 3? You said
Arizona
Boise.
State, Boise State, Indiana, and
SMU.
SMU.
Indiana, SMU, Boise State.
Whoa, Boise State.
Where's
Wow.
Arizona State?
Oh, sorry. Arizona State would slide right in front of Indiana, so 9 probably.
Wow. Boise State last?
They're the non-power four. They
No,
have
I mean, I agree. I don't think they've played anybody
yeah. I mean,
besides
Who
Oregon.
was 11 again?
11 was, I believe it was
SMU.
SMU. Yeah. Which I mean, Penn State could be higher though, just based off of
All right,
their
here's
path.
James's.
Like most likely to win. Penn
Oregon.
State's
No,
probably
no,
higher.
that's Grant's.
This is Grant's.
Oh,
You should probably make a
okay.
post about this.
Yeah, I mean, I can make a post about it if we want to. But
Hold up. Let me
Yeah, that's
flip
probably
my
my order.
camera
Just
just
because
so
Penn
that
State
it's...
could move slightly higher just because of their path could be so easy. But and like I mean, I may jump them ahead of Tennessee just because Tennessee has an awful path. So actually, flip Penn State and Tennessee. I want to get Hunter mad.
I don't know. I think he's right though. I think that top right has the hardest path, 100%. It doesn't matter jeez, whoever makes it out of there probably wins it, depending on the health of Carson Beck.
Mm-hmm.
all right, I'll get mine.
That's a perfect
Okay,
list right there, Hunter.
I'm gonna start. Yeah,
Texas is 12.
I'm gonna start from the bottom. No, Texas is not 12. Are you ready, James?
Yeah, ready.
All right. Number 12, Indiana. 0 vote of confidence in them. Notre
Wow.
Dame is going to run through them. I'm sorry, Indiana. You had a good Cinderella run. Kurt Cinetti, Coach of the Year. Number 11, I'm gonna go with Arizona State just because they're very one-dimensional. Sure, their defense is good. Yeah, it'll carry them through some games if they make a deep run. Cam Scatterbo, you shut them down. This offense, not very good. They can throw it, sure, but Arizona State at 11. Number 10, Boise. They're the non-power forward team. Yeah, I ain't got a lot of faith on them. Number 9, SMU. I'm gonna go with SMU. Number 8, who do I want to put in the number 8? I'm gonna go Clemson. Number 8. Tough draw at Texas, but they're hot, and I'm right with them. Number 7, I'm gonna go Texas. Number 6, I'm going to go Penn State. Number 5, I'm going to go with Ohio State.
Holy homer.
Shut up. No, flip Ohio State.
There you go.
Ohio State's going to be what's next? 4 or 3?
Ohio State and Penn State, or Ohio State and who?
He was going to put
Where's
Tennessee at
Ohio
4.
State at 5?
5.
Put Tennessee at 5, put Ohio State at 4. They're flip-flop. Doesn't matter. And then I'm going to put Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon. Notre Dame
that high.
Notre
Wow.
Dame is a dangerous team because look at the draw they have. They have to beat a not good Indiana team. Then they play a Georgia team without their starting cornerback. Sure, Gunnar Stockton looked good, but he also got rocked in that game against Texas.
So wait, hold on. Is Carson Beck done? Like, do we know that?
I mean, UCL's. They said it's bad.
If he plays, he'll be 60, 70% healthy, probably.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't expect him. I mean, he can maybe throw it 20 yards. That's what I would expect.
I know a thing or two about UCL paint.
Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you see Notre Dame as way more likely to win this than Texas? I get Texas has struggled, but I feel like Texas, if they get hot, then they are by far the best team here. They're the only team. They're the only team that could compete with Oregon. I feel like, especially with Beck not being healthy.
I think the winner comes from that right side.
Yeah, definitely.
The right side being the Oregon side and the Arizona State side. Sorry.
So you see Hunter, Tennessee more likely to beat Oregon than Texas has of beating Clemson and who else up there?
Yeah. Listen, Texas got exposed in the national championship. I'm sorry, they did. They also struggled in the regular season. They didn't play anybody. Let's be honest. Who did they play besides Georgia in the regular season, which they lost?
A&M.
A&M at A&M.
They played at A&M, and even that game was a blowout. That was probably
At
the best game
Michigan,
of the
but
season.
that's not. I mean, it's the Big
Who
House.
cares? No one cares. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. They almost lost against Vandy. Their key wins were Vandy and Arkansas, and A&M. Okay, if those are your two key wins, I don't really know. But
You can't say that
I
about when SMU's key wins over Bama were not good either, Hunter.
But I'm saying, looking at the matchup, SMU's on the other side of the bracket. I'm saying, in my vote of confidence, looking at the bracket, I have more faith in Notre Dame getting to the national championship than I do Texas.
Wow.
That's
It,
at
listen,
2 though, Hunter.
People forget about Notre Dame just because they lost to NIU week 2.
Because they suck when it comes to the playoffs. Look at the past years.
Marcus
I don't
Freeman
know.
does always have a drop game, so you
I
can't
kind
really
of-
stare
I
at that.
kind of agree with Hunter though. Like if you're like the thing I'm looking at, it probably the same for y'all. It has Georgia and Boise State, the 2 and the 3 on the left side. Then it has the 1 and the 4 on the right side. I think looking at that left side, Notre Dame is probably the most favorable team to come out of that. Notre Dame or Georgia. I think the winner of the 2 seed game between Georgia and Notre Dame, assuming Notre Dame beats Indiana, wins that side. I don't think anybody from that bottom left with SMU, Boise, and Penn State.
I mean, I could just see Penn State keeping their guys healthy and just running both those teams out in the first half.
No, I agree, but I still don't think they beat either Notre Dame or Georgia.
Yeah, but Notre Dame's coming. Like, if they do somehow beat Georgia, it would be a dogfight, and they would be banged up, probably more so than Penn State would be.
Yeah, mine is going to disagree with most of y'all's.
Well, I haven't even given mine yet.
All right.
No, wait, where did I put Arizona State on that list?
Pretty low.
Bottom.
Okay. Just making sure I got it right.
Is that you, James? Or are you putting yours?
This is no list.
Okay.
Who's going?
If you want to go.
I'll go. Okay, starting at the bottom, I'm going to actually go SMU. I don't think SMU matches up very well against either Penn State or Boise State, so I'm going to put them at the bottom. Next, I am going to go Indiana. I think they really have a tough first-round matchup. You're sitting in the locker room just sad because of who you have to play. Then I am going to go Arizona State. I think, like Hunter said, he took the words out of my mouth. They're very one-dimensional. I don't think playing a team like Texas, who has, I believe, the number 1 defense in the country, or number 2, they're just going to struggle. And then at let's see, what am I at? 9, I am going to go Boise State. While I do think they are relatively similar to Arizona State, I think that Genty is better, and I think their quarterback play is better than Arizona State. So they're not as one-dimensional. I'm going to go Clemson. I just looking at the hot hand, Clemson's pretty hot coming into this one. I do think they give Texas a run. That's going to be a pretty decent game. What am I at, 8?
7.
7. 7, I'm actually going to go I'm going to go Tennessee at 7. I think just looking at it's bad. It's bad looking at who we have to play. We'll have to get through Ohio State, we'll have to get through Oregon, and then probably Texas. That's just murder's row. 3 games back to back to back. That's trouble. 6, I'm going to go Penn State. They have a very favorable matchup, but I think they do, like I just said, get stopped by Notre Dame. At 5, I'm going to go Texas. Ohio State. My apologies. 5, I'm going to go Ohio State. Kind of same thing with Tennessee. I think they're better than Penn State, but just looking at the road they have is really tough. At 4, I'm going to go Texas. I just think if they get past Clemson, they're going to destroy Arizona State. 3, I am going to go Notre Dame. At 2, I'm going to go Georgia. And at 1, I'm going to go Oregon. Oregon, I think, with the toughest road. However, I think they are the best team. Georgia kind of depends on Carson Beck's health, and I think if Notre Dame gets past Georgia, Notre Dame gets to the championship.
I think that the thing that depends most on the playoffs is what Georgia will look like.
Mhm.
That's all that matters. Because if you take Georgia out of that other side of the playoff bracket, it's wide open. And that's why I think Notre Dame has a great shot. That's just me. James, what you got?
All right. I'm going to start off Indiana dead last. I just don't think they have a shot of A, winning at Notre Dame, and then B, getting past a Georgia team that has looked pretty dominant. At 11, probably going, I hate to say it, Arizona State, just one-dimensional team. If for some reason the winner of Texas or Clemson can stop Cam Scatterby, like y'all said, what are they going to do? I know Kenny Dillingham, he's a really good coach, but I think this is not the best you'll see from Arizona State, I don't think. I think they'll come back better in the next couple of years. It might not be next year, but I think once they regroup, have a more well-rounded team, we could see them make a serious run, especially if they get a somewhat favorable part of the bracket like they have right now. Number 10, SMU. I think they have a legit chance to go into Happy Valley and upset. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but I would love to see it happen. Number 9, I think I'm going to go Clemson just because I know you said they were hot. I don't know. They went to they were at home and lost to South Carolina. That's still on their mind. That was from a couple weeks ago. They did beat SMU in the ACC championship. So that's big for them. Number 8, I think I'm going to go Penn State. They can't win a big game, which leads me to number 7, Boise State. I think you're all sleeping on them. They played really well against Oregon earlier in the season. We've seen them play really good football. We've seen them when they need to throw the ball. Maddox Matson gets it done. He's one of the best players when it comes to protecting the football, with one of the lowest interceptions in college football. I think it's still around 3 on the season. That is impressive. They also have the should-be Heisman. The media might screw it up, and if they do, he will be the most deserving guy to not win the Heisman. Number 6, I'm going to go Notre Dame. Who have they really played this year? Who have they? A&M at the very beginning of the season. But who have they really played that deserves all this hype?
Army's triple option.
I understood A&M didn't count for Texas, so.
But going off that logic that they haven't played anybody, that means Boise State hasn't played anybody because that was in week 2. Let's be honest, week 2 is a long time ago.
UNLV
you can't talk about being a homer here.
But Boise State's still below my Notre Dame. Which leads me to number 5, Tennessee. I just think hard to start at the playoffs. You got to go into the horseshoe and win. And then if you win that, you're probably not at 100% going into Oregon, who will have time to rest, time to watch film, time to prepare for either of those teams. Number 4, I have Ohio State. I think they're good. I don't know if they're that good. And also, similar thing. Honestly, those two for me are interchangeable. Number 3, Georgia. I don't know with the whole Carson Beck situation. I think they got a decent draw being on that other side of the bracket where they'll have to play if they beat the winner of Indiana, Notre Dame, they're either playing Boise State, Penn State, or SMU. They have a lot of talent. I just don't know if they'll be able to utilize that talent to win it all. Number 2, Texas. This team can be the best team in the country when they get hot. Playing Clemson first round, that should, it's going to deplete them some. But then they go against Arizona State where they only got to focus on one guy. They have a good defensive line. It is young. Colin Simmons on the edge was one of the best guys I saw all season, especially when I went to the Texas-Mississippi State game. It shows a lot of promise. He will be great for years for Texas. And the number 1, Oregon, unanimous number 1, shouldn't even be a question. undefeated season, Big Ten champs, playing winner of Ohio State, Tennessee. They've already beaten Ohio State once this year. I feel confident they can do it again, especially since that locker room is in shambles after the Michigan game. And I'm confident they can beat Tennessee because really, how good has Nico Collins looked in big games? It's mainly been Dylan Sampson. Let's be honest, guys. It's mainly been Dylan Sampson.
Not
Look
the
at-
last 4 games. He's got 11 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Who has he played in those games? Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. One was Bama, I believe, right? They did play Bama, and then who was the other one?
Yeah, UTEP.
Kentucky.
You talking about Nico Collins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. What's up with Nico Collins?
Nico Collins, yeah.
Tennessee
Nico
ball.
Collins.
Well, sorry, I'll let you continue.
Well, I was just going to find Tennessee, who they've played their past couple games.
My point is, he's looked pretty
Vanderbilt,
good.
UTEP, they dropped one to Georgia and Mississippi State.
SEC ball is SEC ball. I don't really.
Here's why I have so much confidence going into the horseshoe. This will be kind of the final point here because I'm gonna go to bed because I have to wake up for an appointment. But Walker Howard is not good against a halfway decent defense. Oregon did not play very good.
Walker
Michigan.
Howard.
What's his name?
Wasn't Walker
Will.
Howard the QB from Ole Miss that's transferring?
Will Howard.
Will Howard. Don't even care. Doesn't even matter. He struggles against the defenses. This Ohio State offensive line also not up to par with what I would consider one of the top offensive lines in the country with that $20 million roster that they have up there. So let's be honest. Tennessee's defensive line, I think we absolutely eat this alive. You shut down their 2 running backs, and then you give Will Howard the opportunity to throw it. Yeah, he's got some good receivers, really good receivers. That's the one big concern I have is how well is we got one really good cornerback and another cornerback that is really good sometimes, kind of shaky other times. I have faith in this Tennessee team. Now Tennessee's got to go up against a very tough Ohio State defense. It's either going to be really low scoring or really high scoring. It's going to be one of those games. It's not going to be in the dead middle. I think it's going to be really low scoring. I would take the under if I were y'all. I think it's going to be like that Oklahoma game for Tennessee. I think that's what it's going to be like. The heck was just sent to the chat.
No, it's just funny. You were hating on him for Nico Collins. Did you pull out Walker Howard out of the hat? So
I just
that was just funny.
Hunter, I'm going to disagree with you on your confidence issue just because it holds over 100,000. And at the end of the day, you can say all you want, but if it holds 100,000 plus people, it's going to be sold out. They're going to be loud. They're, going to be screaming at Ryan Day too because this decides his job almost. So
not when your pre-sale got leaked to the Tennessee fans.
You think those people don't already have their tickets?
Yeah.
You think our fans don't already have tickets up there?
Hunter, we're not. I saw some best case scenario is. Best case is 35. That's the absolute best, but it's looking more like 20.
And they're still going to have 80. They're going to have 4 times the amount of fans.
I don't care. Tennessee by 1,000.
Part of it, though, against
biased.
Michigan was Ryan Day was just trying to show, oh, yeah, our run game is going to dominate y'all's really good D-line. He didn't want to throw the ball.
If Ohio
idiot
State
for that. He's an idiot.
If Ohio State wins the first 2 downs, it's going to be a long day. Because it's going to be loud the whole time. If you get back-to-back stops, that place is going to be rocking.
I wish Texas beat Georgia. Then I would have Texas at my 1.
And they didn't.
Well, no, I was just saying that says a lot about Texas, though. Not being able to bounce back and beat Georgia that second time.
Not believe Notre Dame's a 2 for Hunter.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah,
crazy.
Notre Dame 2 is crazy.
Not believe this.
I know ball. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode because my iPad's about to die. And, yeah, Jesus loves you. We'll see you next week. We're going to record our first-round picks. See you there. Our conference championship picks. I don't know if they'll be up or not. Check out the Spot Sports podcast. Should be back. Spot picks coming back this week.
should be filming tomorrow, releasing Saturday morning.
Should be. There you go. Watch stuff. See you then. Peace out.